Hey everybody, this is Jared Scott Ice.
Michael Justin Pegger.
Just in time for your weekend. We are, I always do a mic check and then you always are louder when we record the show.
Yeah, well, I get all amped up because I'm so excited to be recording again.
This is your Piggity podcast for Miggity May 2nd, 2020. How the fuck are you doing?
Again, there's your motto.
It's become my thing. It's become my thing. Yeah, I remember in the beginning, I was like, damn, people usually have like an intro on podcasts they say every time, but like we don't do that shit. And then somehow I noticed after like 15 episodes, I was just asking people how the fuck they're doing. I think it's nice, you know?
I like it too.
How the fuck are you doing?
It's inviting.
It's ambiguous whether it's aggressive or
it's clearly aggressive. It's clearly aggressive.
Yeah, but it's like nicely aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you say like I fucking love you. It's like you know, there's something about that where it's like
you are aggressively friendly.
Yeah. Like this guy. Yeah. You're my best fucking friend in the world, man.
Oh, man.
I'd fucking die for you. Anyway, I don't know if I said it. This is your podcast for May 2nd. How you doing? Why don't you tell me something comes out May 4th? Star Wars on Disney
Star
Plus
Wars
comes out on May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, but you had brought something else up earlier. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. The new Netflix show about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, the Bulls in 97, 98.
What's it called?
The Last Dance.
Oh, that's right.
Jared thought I was trying to sell him on like some chick flick movie.
No, I actually thought it was one of these like celebrity dancing shows.
Now, does that sound to you like something I would be trying to get you to watch?
That's why I was so confused. You were like, dude, have you seen The Last Dance? But the way you said it, like I thought you were like, I'm talking about something unexpected that's actually good.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's what's crazy though. It's like, I don't know. Have you been watching more Netflix than normal?
No, not the normal.
Everyone talks about it, like all the memes and shit are like, oh, fucking like Netflix and like Disney
Those
Plus
are all
and shit.
fucking single people. Those are all fucking single people that are home alone.
Yeah.
I've got the damn family. You know, I've got them to fucking do. Which they're at home right now, being neglected because of you guys. Because we want to be here for you guys. My children are not being educated right now, or at least not.
Well, that's right, because you got to homeschool them and shit.
I mean, yeah,
that's a school day.
I mean, neither one of them are in actual school, but Jack is. I stand there like a fucking taskmaster. So we do the alphabet, and it's got the uppercase and lowercase, and then a word in German and a word in English. That starts with each of them, and
did you make that, or did you?
Yeah, I made that.
We
would sit there and write the letters, right, and then I hang it up on his wall, like up towards the ceiling. I hung like a line, and you put them up with clothespins, and it's going along the ceiling, right?
Yeah, right.
Not up on the ceiling, but up on the wall. And I stand there with a big fucking stick, and I go, clack, and I just point at one.
Why the
he
stick,
has to
though?
Because I can't reach it otherwise.
Oh, it's practical.
It's a practical
I thought it was like an image thing.
But it helps because then I feel like
a teacher.
What was that bitch that took over Hogwarts?
Oh,
I'm nice, but really aggressively nice.
The one with the pink sweater?
Yeah.
Her name had something to do with like plants or something. I don't know, man, but that's you. That's you with the curly hair and everything.
Maybe that's wrong. Because she gives the impression of being nice, and I don't necessarily give the impression of being nice.
Do you change the way you dress though, or is it just the stick?
No. I'm like, come on, Jack, we're doing it now, and he's good, but F for some reason is a problem for him.
It's because it's really different in German and English. And
No, it's F and F.
No, it's if and F. It's closed and open, right?
9.
If, F.
No, I think it's both open. A, B, C, D, E, F. F. It's
No, because I think their X and F are closed because they say like X and we say X. Don't they F? I don't know. That sounds weird now that I'm saying it.
No, it's F.
F.
No, I think they say F.
I think I'm an Italian F.A. Right? I think I'm
F.A., right.
I think I'm getting
well, we have an
here.
Italian au pair, and she is also teaching them the Italian ones. And she's like, "Why, Michael? Why do you not put on the Italian word too?" And I'm like, "Because these fucking kids."
Yeah.
We might be confusing them. Teach them all you want, for real. But when I'm doing it, I can't do the Italian one because I don't really speak Italian that well. So if she wants to, she can. But this is my fucking alphabet.
Oh, that's the worst.
Right now.
Yeah, if you learn a language, you got to learn it from someone who's a native speaker, but also like accent free. Like I remember when I lived in South Carolina, there was a girl there, an exchange student from Japan, and she had the stereotypical Japanese accent, but she was learning Southern English. And it was the strangest thing to hear like a South Carolina accent like mixed with like the Japanese thing.
Oh
you know?
my God.
It was a trip. But I've had that here too. People who learn their German in fucking like Munich or some shit, you know?
Oh yeah. Or I mean,
I got a buddy of mine out in Switzerland.
If you're learning German in America from an American, you're going to have the most ridiculous accent also.
Oh, that's bad.
That's why we've talked about it on the podcast before about IPA and how it's an awesome start, but it is the ground basis. Yeah. That is in my opinion the absolute starting point that you should start at so that you understand the structure of the words and like word roots and everything like that. And the rules that a language has, but then after you get all that shit down, you have to go and hear it. Yeah. Hear it from people who speak it. And Jack is... It's funny, though. Jack has kind of an American accent.
When he speaks German.
Yeah, when he speaks German, he is growing up German.
Yeah.
Never been to school in America or anything. He's been to America often, but he is an all-American boy.
Yeah, sure.
My boy, my lovely little boy, is an all-American boy. Anyway... He's kicking ass at the alphabet.
F's still giving him some trouble.
F.
He's effing up, dude.
I came up with a couple different words because did we talk about what's it called, acronyms or whatever?
Yeah.
How I think I mentioned it in the podcast about to learn for fucking music history we had to learn a certain number of instruments, medieval instruments.
Oh yeah.
And my thing was violent llamas fuck pussy regularly, so do beavers, oh fuck.
You'll never forget that, yeah.
I'll never forget that, and I wrote it on my thing. So because it was crazy and weird,
yeah.
I remember it to this day.
So you're trying to do it with
for
Jack now.
Jack, it's F is for flibbity flop. Right?
Flibbity flop. Okay.
And he remembers flibbity flop right away. He'll remember that before F sometimes.
Fish or something, yeah.
And then I say or, and then he says finger. Yeah. Right? Because finger is just like all the other words that we're using, like cat and dog and blah de fucking blah, right?
Yeah.
They're just all normal words. Flibbity flop is not one. That sticks in his head like crazy. Yeah. And after he says flibbity flop, he'll be like, flibbity flop, F. And I'm like, yes.
It's crazy, man. That's crazy. To see. I mean, I don't have any kids, so I don't know. But it's like to see someone learn the alphabet, because it just seems like such an innate thing. You know, it just like I don't remember ever not knowing what letters were. But like you have to learn them, and if you don't learn them, you'll never learn them.
Right.
It's not like other skills that you will like eventually pick up. You know what I mean? But like if someone doesn't teach you the alphabet, I guess you're just illiterate then.
I guess you're illiterate then.
That's illiteracy, right?
Which the majority of humans who have ever fucking lived were that. They just didn't fucking read.
It's really hard to try to imagine a world outside of yourself. You know, like, could you, like, I mean, I guess it's not that weird because when I first came to Germany, you're looking at words and you're like, what the fuck is that? That's how it was for people, but with every language ever. You know what I mean? Like, you are English speaking in an English country, but back when there were kings and more illiteracy, like, you would see a piece of paper and it would just look like a different language, but it's your language.
Right.
You know, and then someone else would magically look at it and read it. That's a trip to think about.
I mean, I guess I can imagine a culture that doesn't have any written language. Yeah. I can imagine that. What I cannot imagine, not even an alien culture, I cannot imagine an alien. Well, okay, it's. I can imagine the no writing, but it's not probable. Like eventually they would get writing. I feel. Yeah. I feel like somebody would say, "Fuck this! I'm not memorizing all this stuff.
Yeah,
I'm just inventing this, and then boom, it's done." Right?
Yeah.
What I can't imagine, for real, I can't imagine any kind of culture without music.
Yeah.
Even an alien culture, it seems like eventually they would recognize tones.
Yeah.
And speaking has different like lengths to it and different pitches.
Unless you were like super serious. Like I think we talked about on the podcast though, like my dad listens to music but not in the car.
Okay.
He likes to just drive in silence, you know? And so we would drive
like sanity.
We would drive sometimes from Seattle to Yakima, which is like a 3-4 hour drive, and it's like just
well, my brain goes fucking crazy when I do that.
Yeah.
If I don't have like if I don't have reception so I can't play Spotify or anything, I'll just my brain is constantly talking.
Yeah.
And it's cool because you end up having conversations with yourself that are really cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like earlier when we talked about the Netflix, it's like and you said like I'm not single. It's like I realize like when I come home, what I do is I usually pop open my sex, drugs, and a pop socket. I put on Netflix and I just set it next to me and I cook or I do something or I work on my computer and it's just going. I'm not watching it, but it somehow like masks the loneliness of like.
Well, not only that, but you literally. So if I were to do that, I would have to put up with somebody, Dad, and then Jeannie going, and me having to say, hey, Jeannie, what, Jack, don't do that.
That's
Jack,
just too much noise. Yeah, because but you don't need the distraction from the loneliness because you crave the loneliness, you know?
That's Dodo exactly, my wife.
Yeah.
She, like, I am one of those kids to her.
Yeah.
When she has her headphones on and wants to listen to an audiobook, I'm like, hey, Dodo, where are the noodles?
Yeah.
Dodo, Mike, stop it. I'm trying to listen to this. And she, me, I have to deal with the kids, right? But she's working all day and then has to try to find some fucking way to shut off.
Yeah.
And it's difficult for me because I want to talk to her.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to her all
gone.
day.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to talk to anybody else because she's been talking and typing all fucking day.
But man, I gotta say, I gotta give you some props. You've been handling the quarantine well. You come in here shaved. You somehow got a haircut. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going straight up like caveman, man.
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
I'm
your
going,
hair's all over the place.
I know. I'm going Doc Brown over here, and like you're like.
21 gigawatts.
But you're clean, like you're like in charge of things. I guess you're thriving, man. But some people,
I'm doing all right.
Some people are having a hard time, man.
Yeah, but like I said, I've got companionship in my house.
Yeah, but
right?
some people are being driven nuts by like the close proximity now that they're forced to have with people.
But that's their own fucking problem. I mean, I have that too, but I mean,
yeah.
Let's say you're living with somebody. If you are if you have like a one-room place, and you have to, like you have to share that particular room. Yeah, you could shut off, put on your headphones, and each go to a different part of the room. But still, that they're in the room is fucking that's tough. I don't have to deal with that.
God, like some of these singers I know in New York, maybe you guys are listening. There's people I know that straight up have like 2 beds in a room, and that's their apartment.
Yeah, that's tough.
I saw last time I was in New York, I saw an ad at some university. I think I was at like the music school in Brooklyn or something, and it was like you could rent a wall for rent. So you have a room, and then it's your wall. This is my wall. Right? And so everything, the length of, like the thickness of your bed to the wall is your rent.
I would never.
You rent a wall for like $600.
Look, I understand everybody wants to live in fucking New York and LA and stuff like that and San Francisco. Fuck that noise.
Not when that's what you have to do to do it.
I don't want to pay that much for a wall.
Yeah. It's a spectrum. Like, I get it. Like, I like New York. Whenever I'm there, it's really cool. I like LA. I like big cities. But, man, not that much.
Yeah, not that much.
Everyone finds their place because, like, where Mike and I live out here in Darmstadt, it's like a middle city. There's, like, I don't know, 200,000 people here, less maybe.
I mean, it is expensive here.
Yeah.
But it's not New York expensive.
No, but then again, I'm not going to go live out in the woods. You know? You would.
I would.
You would. I wouldn't. I don't know, because I was looking at land the other day because like Mike and I really like the studio, but sometimes I think about like the next step and planning years in the future. Yeah. It's years in the future, right? Yeah. But like if you buy a piece of land out in the middle of fuck nowhere, man, you can buy like a big chunk of land for like $10,000.
Yeah,
you know?
Look,
but you live in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, and then if you have if you're working at home, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you're working at home, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you've got to travel every day, then that becomes an issue. Well, I forget what I was going to say. I fucking forget what I was going to say.
You had us, man. You had us in the palm of your fucking hand.
Yeah, I know. I had myself in the palm of my hand. Oh, well, talking about being in the palm of your hand, it's difficult whenever you're...
jacking off?
Well, look, if you're living... Everybody's got to turn on those candles and get intimate with yourself every once in a while.
Okay.
You can't do that when you just got a wall.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you can.
You can, but
did you have the dorm room experience like in university? Did you have to do that for your bachelor's?
Yeah, you mean the quiet jerk in the bunk bed?
Well, like we were forced to have a roommate in university.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But like same room, not like your own room in an apartment, but like you both had a bed. In the same. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of you listeners that either haven't been to university or don't live in America, because it's not like that in most states or countries. I mean.
Right, because they don't have, like, the big fucking campus thing going on.
But you know what? Like, I never really got why it was necessary You know, I was forced to live on the dorms.
Yeah, because the universities own that.
Yeah.
And they want you to pay them.
Fucking assholes.
No, that's absolutely why. That's why they build, like, big, expensive things so that you can say, like, when you go to visit a fucking university, they'll say, look at this beautiful dorm, and you look at the dorm, and you're like, oh, my God, wow.
But it's weird that they don't let you, like, they don't let you choose your roommate, and I don't know what the algorithm is they choose. I think it's random. I had a bunch of crazy fucking roommates,
I had some stories too.
And you're just sleeping in the same room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got any stories to share with the people?
No, not that I mean,
because they know.
We went to a fucking music school.
Yeah, it's small. Because I got stories I want to tell, but I can't. Because like, also it's like they were music students. But I'll tell a story about Taco, man. I had a Japanese roommate named Taco. That wasn't his real name, but that's what we called him, Taco.
Okay.
Because the first part of his name sounded like that, and we couldn't pronounce it. But the dude was fun.
Like Takamura.
His name was Takahiro. Okay.
Okay.
And we just called him Taco.
That's fine.
He liked it. Okay. So don't fucking write me an email. But the dude had some weird habits. He was nice, but one, his English was fucked. So like some of his vocabulary was backwards.
Right.
So I remember him like he would be like, I'm gonna use the microwave, and I'd be like, okay, and then he'd like turn on something else, you know, like the TV or something. But the dude was cool, but he had two habits that drove me insane. One, every time you left the room, he'd turn the fridge up to like 6 and he'd freeze your fucking apple juice, right? But his biggest habit that I couldn't fucking take was this guy loved nothing. Yeah, because I was smoking a lot of pot back then, and you get that cotton mouth in the middle of the night, and I'd go, and it'd just be this brick. I'd want to just hit him over the head with it. But his favorite thing in the fucking world was to take a shower, and he had long hair, right? He would take a shower, and then he'd run into the room dripping wet and jump into his fleece sleeping bag. That he loved that, dude. He wouldn't put bedding on the bed. He loved sleeping in a sleeping bag, and he loved getting in there wet. And I asked him about it all the time, and he was just like, I like it. It smelled.
That's fucking terrifying.
It smelled terrible, but he would open the door. He'd run in dripping, like no
naked.
Towel. No, he would have like those cheap plaid boxers on, you know, that you get like
but wet.
Yeah, wet, like, and then he would jump in there like hair soaking wet, and he loved that. He loved like being wet in that fleece sleeping bag.
Taco.
I wonder where he is these days, man.
Jumped up. Dude has jumped up and sat right back down.
But
I
for
don't know what to say about that.
For those of you that don't go to school and university, it's like that's what they put you in, man. You don't get to choose your roommate, and if you want to change roommates, it's a really complicated process. At least it was for me.
Yep, it was.
Yeah,
I had a few. There was a rotating door on mine.
Yeah,
might have been me. I don't know. But I wasn't going anywhere. Fuck it.
I see, man.
I can live with it if you can.
But that was cool, man. I don't know. For as weird as that year was, it's the freshman year that you're kind of like required to do that. I don't know. I liked it. I wouldn't give it up.
No, it was an experience.
I think
the
that's
year
part of
that
it.
I went,
yeah.
The cicadas hatched in Cincinnati.
Those are insects, yo.
Do you know what cicadas are?
The loud ones, yeah.
The loud ones with the big. Oh, and this one I think was the 17. So they hatch in broods. There are different broods, right?
Do you have those in Pittsburgh too?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one was like a 17-year cicada, right?
Okay.
They come out and they have orange.
I'm sorry.
Red
what do you mean,
eyes.
17-year?
Which means that this brood hatches every 17 years.
So like some bugs lay the eggs and then they're just there for 17 years, then they hatch.
That's right. They're down in the ground.
Oh, okay.
And then they come out of the ground.
That's crazy.
And the thing about it is they get so fucking loud and there are
they're loud as
millions
shit.
and millions and millions of them. You can't imagine how many there were. At CCM, there's this in between the buildings. There's this thing that you can drive around in the middle of a tree, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And in this tree, it was just so covered with cicadas that it was like getting to the pain threshold of getting close. It was maybe 100 decibels. It's so crazy how loud those things can get.
Why the fuck are they so loud?
But they're looking for mates.
But they're all there in the tree.
Yeah, I know. Who are you?
Could they whisper? I think they got one volume though.
But the other thing is they fucking suck at flying.
Yeah.
They fucking suck at flying. So I had to, no joke, I would have like a coral folder.
Nice.
You know, one of the black ones that you open up and you hold them back
big leather
up.
folder.
I had that, and you had to, as they were as you were walking down the street, hold it and like whack them out of the air because they were going kamikaze on you.
Yeah.
And they would hit you in the back and like hold on to your hair and you'd
that's
like
fucked up.
Scream and freak out.
Yeah.
And the reason I mentioned it was a hot ass summer too, and you had to sleep with the window open, which means you would wake up and there would be like these things right in your bed.
Seriously?
Oh my God.
God.
Anybody who was, I think it was 03.
Yeah.
If you remember 03 Cincinnati, ooh, oh my God.
With your, what are they called, cicadas?
Cicadas.
Riding with your cicada stories. Yeah, dude, I just bought some insect nets online the other day, man. Magnetic, clip on, clip off.
Oh, yeah, they're nice.
I'm tired of them wasps coming in my kitchen.
Seriously, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. They're annoying when they come in.
Is that an acronym for wasp?
You've never heard the term wasp before?
No.
You've never heard that term.
Insect, but not white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
You've never heard? Wow.
No.
It's a very, very common term for
in history or in church.
No, in America.
Okay.
If you're a wasp, it's very waspy. White Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
I used to sing at a church, and he would start every service with like, "We are the frozen chosen," and then like it was some denomination that's known for being quiet. I don't know. I wouldn't even know the denomination of the churches I was singing at back in the day. You would, because you have an interest in that shit. But I was like, what's the address? And I was just showing up and singing. I
did United Methodist, and I did the Catholic with the Latin Mass. Which
there was something
before.
with a P. Is there a denomination with a P?
Protestant.
Protestants.
Are you fucking or Presbyterian?
They're No, I don't know, man. I'm gonna react to whatever you say.
Pentecostal.
They were Pentecostal. I don't know, dude. What's the one with the tongues, man?
That's Pentecostal.
Okay, I played bass for one of those ones.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they were tripping out while I was playing.
Man, that fucking tongue stuff.
My slap bass was getting them wild, dude.
I had an old colleague, and he was like, he really believed in the tongue thing.
Yeah,
and
like he would do it. What's the point of though? Like, are you?
It's the Holy Spirit taking you over, and you start talking. But I can't really do it. But it's this fake. Okay. Gibberish, not like just fucking gibberish language.
It's really
and apparently
hard to do that,
it is the Holy Spirit taking you over and speaking in languages that no longer exist. They say they're real languages, but they're not. They can tell. Look, the other thing is this sort of shit has been studied before. Like, you can tell the difference between gibberish and actual languages. We talked about it before. What was it? The
music is a language one, or what?
Yeah, and we talked about
the origins of music.
No, fucking hell, the distribution, the Pareto distribution.
Okay, yeah, like every word is used like in a
exactly, in precise proportion to its spot in the rank order.
Yeah,
right. And gibberish doesn't do that. It doesn't fall in the Pareto distribution, but every fucking language does.
Yeah.
Right. And these things are completely fucking gibberish. But what he tried to tell me was, he said, no, I was there once, and this man started speaking in tongues, and we had a visiting professor that was there. And he went up to the man afterwards. He says, "Where did you learn Greek? Where did you learn ancient Greek?" Yeah. And he said, "I don't know ancient Greek." And he's like, "You were just speaking perfect ancient Greek." And I'm like, that didn't fucking happen.
No.
That didn't fucking happen,
and then everybody
dude.
clapped.
I'm sorry. I'm like, that's a fucking lie. Nobody just speaks perfect ancient Greek like that. It doesn't happen.
No. That's one of those classic stories, man. One of those Reddit threads.
Right. That's why anecdotal stuff is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You have to... Yeah, you heard somebody who heard somebody who heard it. Right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. You should take that with exactly the half a grain of salt that it is worth.
God damn them tongues, man! It's hard to make up a language. I tried to write an opera back in the day, or one of the first things I tried to write when I was studying compositions. And I remember I was trying to create like this, like fantasy world, which is extremely difficult to do. We talked about before, but if you want to create like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, where there's like religions and there's like groups of people with different beliefs and more, like you're creating things that don't exist. It is so hard. But one of the hardest parts of all that is to create a fucking language, man.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Like you think that would be easy, but try to do it sometime. Try to create fucking words. You know, don't say table. What is this called? That's really hard. It's called a flap. You know?
Yeah, everybody goes on Shablazzle and stuff.
Yeah,
like
they get
that.
ridiculous. But then it's like then your language is gonna sound comical. But like when they do like Elvish or whatever, or like in Star Wars, like Klingon was like one of the first examples of that.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound ridiculous. You know, it doesn't sound like laughable.
Oh my God! You want to hear one of the? I gotta find this YouTube. If I can find it and send it to you, I will. There's a linguist.
Yeah.
Who tried to bring up his son bilingual, English and Klingon.
Okay.
Right? It was fascinating. The son eventually, he could do it, but eventually ended up abandoning Klingon. Just refused to speak in it, and it was
There can't be enough of a standard.
Well, no, there's enough of a standard. You can speak Klingon.
But are there enough people doing it with the...
That's the problem. There was no social reinforcing.
That's what I meant. That's what I mean. Yeah. It's like there needs to be a wide group of people actually doing it with like the correct pronunciation.
And you have to be okay with isolating yourself whenever you're in front of your friends, right? Like when Jack speaks English right now, his friends all understand what English is. It's kind of cool, right? Yeah. And he can hear me speaking it and possibly other people speaking it as well. But there is none of that with Klingon.
No.
It is so socially isolating to speak that in front of other people that you become an oddity, and that's the one thing that a child doesn't want. Well, they want to be part of a society.
Well, and that's the one thing about learning a language is you have to at one point really try to communicate with somebody.
Yeah.
Because I remember learning German, and it's like to learn a sentence is fine. Like you learn like, oh, can I have a bag, please?
Yeah.
You know? And you're like, okay, I have this sentence ready. And you're like, you say it a million times, it's fine. But when you go to the store and you fucking say it to a German, it's a completely different thing. Yeah. And you can't fucking say it anymore. You know what I mean? And you actually need that aspect of really communicating. And Klingon, man, you can't fucking do that shit.
No, you can't. I mean, unless you're at like some fucking...
Star Trek thing?
Yeah,
but then there's not going to be no consistency in pronunciation.
Exactly. There's not going to be a consistent... So there's not a shared... pronunciation probably there's not a share. I mean, everybody will do it a little bit differently, but also the nobody is fluent enough in that language to be able to just speak it in the way that we speak it, because again, you don't think in language. It's kind of demonstrable that your thoughts are formed as you're speaking and not beforehand oftentimes. But you don't do that when you start speaking German, when you or start speaking another language. First you think of the thing in your head, which is why it's so rigid and terrible when you speak it.
And it's too slow to have a real conversation.
Exactly. And then later, like I don't think in English anymore when I speak German.
Yeah.
I just speak.
Yeah, sure.
You know, unless I hit a roadblock, and then I have to think of something and then say it. But that's exactly where the conversation breaks down a little bit, is when my ability to speak fluently, meaning the thoughts are formed as I speak.
Yeah.
That's when the conversation can actually go. And nobody in Klingon, I would wager that nobody in Klingon can actually speak Klingon and have the thoughts be formed as they're speaking them.
No.
They are translating and doing everything in their head first and then doing it.
But like whoever made up these fucking languages though, you know?
It's the most.
And it's not worth it sometimes with the effort, you know?
Well, I guess, but tell J.R.R. Tolkien that. I mean, the things that he did.
Yeah.
It really, really, really is amazing.
I don't know if I could do that, you know, because some of these people, it's like they invest like so much of their life in like one thing. And to dive that deep into one thing, I don't have the attention span for that. I can do many, 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 many things, like superficially, you know?
Well, yeah,
but so deep into one thing, your whole life.
You and I are both very creative people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we're that creative to have the absolute, like, he fucking dedicated his writing output to creating this world and creating these things.
But you know the thing about creativity, I think, is it's like running. I think there's sprinters and there's long distance runners.
Yeah,
and I think you and I belong to the same group of people. Yeah, it's improv. It's back and forth. It's fast stuff.
Yeah,
like that's where you and I are creative. Like you need an idea now, here it is. But there are people who are slower and more meditative. And if you're not that and you try to be that, it's really difficult. Just like someone who writes a book, you can't expect them to be like snappy, you know, like on stage. Give them a microphone. They're like, "How you all doing today? I'm R.R. Martin." You know, like, was that his name?
J.R.R. Martin.
J.R.R. or is it J. Tolkien or
J.R.R.
J.K.
Tolkien.
Rawlings?
Oh man, now I'm all.
I think you J initial like 2-syllable last name is the formula.
J.R.R. Tolkien.
J.K. Rowling, R.R. Martin,
R.R. Martin.
or is it J.R.R. Martin? You definitely need some
know.
initials and then a 2-syllable last name.
Seems like it.
And then you're gonna write some good books. Pegger, MJ. Yeah, but see, Michael Jackson fucked it up for you. You can't use Michael Justin
Or Michael Jordan.
That's what I meant, actually. Michael Jordan. I was thinking him.
MJ.
Both of them. But
they're both MJ.
You can't try to belong to that group, man. MJ pegs.
I just, I wouldn't be able to. Speaking of those two things, I mean, they're just, those two people are two incredible people.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever watched any of the old videos of Michael Jackson with his family band,
like
the Jackson 5?
When he was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them are really talented, and then you
sure.
have this one person who it's like makes them look like a bunch of dicks.
Yeah.
Because he's so good. He's so incredible from the earliest age.
Mm.
So they had the Jackson 5, a bunch of like the older kids were seasoned and they were musicians and everything, and they still made the smallest one the fucking front man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because like you have people who are talented, but like it's untrained. Then you have people who are really fucking trained with no talent. But when you get both, then like you can see it immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different fucking
again.
level,
This fucking The Last Dance thing,
Yeah.
right? They talked about how
this is a Michael Jordan documentary.
Well, it's a documentary about the last year of the Bulls and with Phil Jackson as the coach.
Okay.
And he called it because the GM at that time pulled him in and said, this is your last season as the coach. They had just won. They did a three-peat, won 3 in a row, and then had, I think, 1 or 2 years off, and then had won 2 more in a row.
Yeah.
Right? And they still are like taking them and taking them off, taking them out of the head coaching job, right?
Okay.
So he said, he called it to his team, this is the last dance, right? That's why it's called that now.
Okay.
But everybody talks about Michael Jordan, like when you saw him, it was just immediate. You could see what a fucking talent he was, right?
Right.
Same, and there are people like that, I guess. Who is like that when it comes to opera?
Well, it's hard to see because you don't get exposure until you're on the other side of it. Like Michael, like okay, I mean, yeah. There are people who it's easy for, but you don't get to the top unless you're like that. It has to be easy. Who's working hard up there? You know. I mean, you see some of these like Wagnerian tenors who are fucking working. You know what I mean? You're like, oh god, man. But like, you know, I mean, like Lawrence Brownlee, like he seems to just have endless high C's. You know?
It's true, but
it seems to be play for that guy.
I guess so.
In some ways.
I mean, there's definitely no doubt that he was born with a talent to sing fucking perfect Color Toto or something like that, right? But just like MJ, Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson were the 2 most talented people in that room and the 2 hardest working.
Yeah, Michael
and
Jordan
Lawrence
used to
Brownlee
shoot like
has to be that way too.
Well, that's what I mean is like, but I back when I was like, because that's what I mean is you can't see it on the other side. I mean, you can still when you put, but the difference is when you put Michael Jordan on a court with people who are also hardworking, you still see a difference.
That's what
and that's more of what you're talking about because, of course, Michael Jordan used to shoot 10,000 free throws a day. You know what I mean? Like Michael Jackson worked hard, Lawrence Brownlee worked hard, like all this stuff. Jonas Kaufman worked hard, but so you can't, but you can still see a difference sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when it's play, I think.
And it's what?
It's when it's like play, like it's not work, but like it's so easy. You know what I mean? Like LeBron James is like that.
Yeah.
It's like Kobe Bryant was like that.
Yeah.
It's like when they played, it wasn't like effort. It was like it was somehow organic. Do you know what I mean?
The organic nature seems to be the one that gets me. And you can see it in music when it feels like somebody's creating immediately in the moment, I think. Like when you watch Cecilia Bartoli, right?
Yeah.
And you hear the different versions that she does, they're never the same, right? Because her talent won't allow her to be the same. She creates somehow in the moment. And it's like Michael Jordan, when he would dunk, he would do it like he didn't have to do like an arm twirl or fucking something.
Yeah.
But he created that in the moment. He could have just jumped up, put it in the basket. Could have.
Yeah.
Didn't.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's so intensely talented that he has to He has to fucking do something.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to think about because I think we spent so much of our lives, being told that, like, you got to meet the standard, you got to be perfect and all this shit. But it's like, man, when you can just not let it be such a big deal and you can just play a bit, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then that there's something special about that. Like you worked hard and now your hard work has rewarded you the opportunity to just have fucking fun.
That's why I like colleagues who feel free to improv on stage.
Yeah, sure.
I like it because it means they're doing something. They're not just regurgitating.
And it's not so serious. And that's kind of my thing with a lot of these like video things going on right now. Like
we're going to talk about these now. Fuck.
Well, just maybe for a second, just like it's just like I do get that like artists need to be supported and art is important, but there is a line where it's like you start at one point taking it a bit too seriously, I think. Or is that fucked up to say?
No, it's not. I just look. The hearts are all in the right fucking place. Mm-hmm. Everything's in the right. Well, not all the time. Sometimes there's just shameless fucking self-promotion ego going into it.
Yeah.
Like I see some people genuinely wanting to entertain. For instance, the neighborhood concerts.
Yeah.
Right. I see some people genuinely wanting to entertain people around them, and genuinely wanting to sing.
Right.
So they go out there and sing, and then I see people
trying to replicate that for themselves or something.
Try where it's about them.
Yeah.
Where it's so about like promoting them, and it's so fucking egotistical. I saw the same thing with the fucking the La Esperanza thing.
Challenge. Yeah, man. And like for me, it's like it's not that hard to see the difference. Like there's the newest hashtag I saw yesterday was like hashtag. Oh, what was it? It was like hashtag like. I couldn't even remember because it was just so artificial. It was like we're all equal or refugees or something like that. But then someone would just sing a song. It was like arts to help refugees or something like that. But there was no link to a fund. There was nowhere to give money. There was no second step. It was just like I'm singing to bring awareness to refugees. And it's like that is
you're full of shit.
That is definitely not helping.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's definitely not a thing. And I mean, people might fucking shit on me for saying that. And like, I'm sure someone saw it and then someone did their own massive amount of research to see how they could actually make a difference and help. But spreading awareness only helps if there's a one-click link, click, I've paid. Like, then spreading awareness helps. But you need a solution.
We'll piss off a bunch of people by saying these things because a bunch of people are doing these things, right? Yeah, but there has to be. I know there are a bunch of people who are getting sick and fucking tired of watching these things. I know that we're not the only ones that are exhausted by watching.
It's just weird to me because a lot of the people that are posting these like living room fucking videos. And look, we're not talking about like the Met fucking concert and stuff. We're talking about the people that are doing the double chin selfie video of some aria. These are the same people that 6 months ago were saying like it's fucking bastardization to fucking use a piano instead of an orchestra, or I'm not going to perform unless the costumes are good, or I'm not going to fucking like, use a microphone. It's true. Like 6 months ago, it was like that was beneath them to do, but suddenly they're writhing like slugs in salt from lack of attention, and suddenly their standards drop. I have literally seen people digress and become literally cam girls or whatever.
And I hate to say it this way because we are podcasters, but everybody's a fucking podcaster now. Everybody's got their own little fucking thing going on. It's fine. I don't care, but it's just it's so much. There's so much.
I have nothing against people using the time to develop a project. You know what I mean? Like if you're developing a project, it's fine, but it's just there's a difference between just like the standard. You know what I mean? You and I for 3 fucking years have been talking about making this better and better and better. You know what I mean? And we buy things and we work on our craft and we improve the website, we improve the secret sponsor section. Like it's an ongoing pursuit for like excellence that we're going for. Yeah. And you can't compare some shitty half attempt out of boredom to something like that. And so people who are using the time to develop their projects, I have nothing but respect for you.
No, of course.
I got nothing but respect for you.
I guess I came across a little shitty when I said that. I did not mean that. It's just
No, but I know what you mean. There's a difference between creating something that's like meaningful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then just doing some self-fulfilling thing. And a lot of people are somehow confusing those two.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Are you really creating an at-home series that is going to go beyond this quarantine thing that you're going to continue to develop and try to enrich people with? Or are you just fucking passing the time and you want to feel productive? You know?
I mean, people would say, aren't we doing the same thing? I think perhaps, I think that's maybe a fair criticism, but I've never once pushed my own singing. What I've meant to do is refer to it so that I can speak informed about something, but I've never wanted to push my my own career, which is on the side of sex, drugs, and opera, into sex, drugs, and opera. That's not the point.
Right.
You know, the point is to have honest conversations about shit. And when you see the sort of ego-driven stuff, that can happen with a lot of these. With a lot of these ventures that you see on Facebook and YouTube and blah blah blah, I don't know. It's the ego. It's the ego that gets to me. The ego has always gotten to me in opera. There's a lot of it.
Yeah. Of course, dude. It's like part of it. Like, if I've learned nothing else during the quarantine time, there's a lot of you with fucking cheap Rococo red velvet chairs in your houses. Why do so many of you own that fucking chaise? You know. Like, where are you guys buying that cheap, cracked gold paint fucking...
That's not a bad observation. That exists a lot. That's true.
Yeah, and they're all sitting on it singing their shit, man. And it's like, I don't know, man. And it's like, if it's really about, like, the funny thing about these videos and, like, you know, we need to, like, let the arts be heard is nobody's reposting Joyce DiDonato. They're all posting themselves. Like, if you really want to spread the arts, shouldn't you post, like, the best version of it? Like, some amazing person with an orchestra? Is that really gonna, like, or is you with your shitty lit cell phone recording gonna win somebody over better than like a professionally produced Met opera meant for the cinema?
That's true.
Shouldn't you be posting that clip if you're really spreading the arts?
Not a bad
Think
point.
about what you're doing, man.
Not a bad
I don't know.
point.
You guys can shit on me. It's fine. sexdrugsandopera@gmail.com. Write me your hate mail.
Write me your hate mail too. Fuck them.
We'll read it on the air.
Fuck you guys.
Okay.
Fuck you guys.
Fuck you all.
Nobody even said anything to us. We're like, fuck you, huh?
Was that this podcast where we said, like, I fucking love you? That was this one, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It all blends together. Okay.
Aggressively friendly.
Aggressively
aggressively not friendly.
We're so fucking thankful for you fucks. You know, there's so many things you say that are like offended, but fucks is pretty neutral. You know, you fuck. Fuck sees no gender. Fuck. It sees no race. You know, It's the equalizer. I like that word.
Equalizer. I like it too.
All right, Mike. So we're going to move on to the sponsors now, if that's okay with you.
Whatsoever you want, Jared.
But the problem, bud, is that we got one sponsor, which is amazing, but it's just a one-syllable name.
Okay.
So you're going to have to try to...
What? Stretch it out.
I mean, the sponsor theme is like a minute long, man. You think you could take a minute to say one, take a deep breath? And
do you want me to just say it, just hold it out for a minute?
No, don't do that. But let's I can jump in. We can share it. We can share it.
All right.
I'm trying to reach the phone. Mike and I are both laying back. This is the laziest podcast we've ever done.
This is short.
All right. Yeah, man. They call the sponsor my dick because it's short. All right, you ready? Here it is.
Coming in at sponsor number 1 for the podcast of May 2nd, 2020 in Corona quarantine time.
There you go.
Sex, Drugs, and Opera, the leading podcast concerning sex, concerning drugs, and concerning opera, introduces the newest and most popular, sexiest sponsor of all time, Kate.
Oh, you did it, man.
I told you I could.
All right.
Kate.
I had to turn you down, man. You didn't like getting off the mic.
Kate, thank you for your sponsorship.
Kate, thank you so much for your sponsorship. Yes, Kate has joined our group of secret sponsors through Patreon. So, Kate, I've sent you your password and your login. Everybody has individual logins now. And so you can now access our secret sponsor section along with our other sponsors. And that means every week you get an additional podcast. Or every time we do a podcast, it's paired with the secret sponsor podcast. So boom, double the content.
Double the pleasure, double the fun.
But then you're also, of course, helping us to get what we need and to keep the podcast going. Also, shout out to some of our other sponsors. We've had some other sponsors step up lately and give us charitable donations to help us.
Some of them mentioning the lobster specifically.
Yeah.
Saying the quote unquote, fuck that lobster is what they said. And yes, I agree.
Lobster is gone. So thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to everybody. Thank you, Kate. And to those of you who are interested in joining our secret sponsor section or finding out more, go to sexdrugsnop.com. You go to our donate page, and we have three convenient ways to sponsor us. You can either go to our Patreon page and become a monthly sponsor. You can give us a one-time donation on Buy Me a Coffee, anything from a small amount to as much as you want. Or you could buy some stickers, which I think is about $6 or so. You get some stickers. We'll send them out to you.
Get some sticky sticks.
And you
do
help
some
us
guerrilla
out.
marketing, stick them on places. I'm not saying stick them on illegal places, but do what you want with them. They're your stickers. They're your stickers.
I've thought about doing something like that. Like, I'll stick a sticker in New York, and I'll be like, if you find the sticker, you win a shirt or something.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but I thought about doing it, but then the quarantine happened, and so it just seems like a socially insensitive thing to do right now.
Break into somebody's house and put it on their milk.
I found it. Yeah. If you can, okay.
Buy some sticks,
and we'll send you some unique, one-of-a-kind SDAO stickers.
Yeah, you guys gotta bedazzle your folders. Your Anne Frank, or not Anne Frank. What? Not Anne Frank. What are those? Lisa Frank.
Oh,
is that not what it was?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. The fucking. Back in the day,
the Trapper Keeper?
Yeah, the Trapper Keeper, but they I think it was called Lisa Frank, and it was like super fucking girly with like unicorns and shit like that.
Oh,
it definitely wasn't Anne Frank.
Yeah,
that's not what it was. It was Lisa Frank, I think.
You know the name of the designer?
I think, yeah,
Lisa
of course. Anybody
Frank.
who knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, hold on.
Anybody who had it knows what I'm talking about.
That's so funny though, because I know exactly what you mean. The unicorn with like the pink clouds.
Yeah, right.
Lisa Frank, Trapper Keeper.
Yeah, see,
no
I told
way.
you.
That's the unicorn, man, right there.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
Why
the fucking Lisa Frank.
Why did you know that, man?
Not Anne Frank. Lisa
the seal.
Frank.
The seal's really fucking common.
Seal is fucking. That was. But if you need to spice that up a little bit,
dude, I had
get some of our stickies.
I had the Trapper Keeper, and then what was that pencil that had like all the lines on it, so you could like rub it on your desk and it would like make noise? There was a with the Trapper Keeper came these pencils, not like with them, but like it was cool both at the same time. Oh, these pencils had some fucking wild name. They had all these like things of making noise. Someone out there knows what I'm talking about. Please take the time to write me in, because I can't just.
I was loyally Ticonderoga.
What the fuck are you saying?
What? You know what a Ticonderoga pencil is?
I don't, dude. Is that what I'm
Look it
talking
up
about?
again.
Hold on, I'm looking at mine first. 90s pencil.
Fucking Ticonderoga pencil. It's the most popular yellow pencil.
Oh, okay. Why would you
Dixon
know that?
Ticonderoga.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Do you know what I mean now?
I do.
You
Yes.
better fucking know what I mean.
I do, but I don't know what mine's called. So look, there's a pencil out there. It's called like Yowza or something.
Yowza.
It had all these fucking things. Someone please fucking write me and tell me what that is. And if you're interested in joining the team, just head over to our donation page, and there's lots of information. We give a breakdown of how much we spend on the podcast, what your benefits are as a sponsor. Please at least take the time to at least inform yourself.
And honestly, there's also the way of sponsoring us by just going and subscribing on YouTube. Every little bit counts, but now we've got the video podcasts out there for you. So there's more content to consume on YouTube.
We'll be cranking out some more mini operas here soon. Just somehow the Corona stuff slowed that down.
And in case you didn't hear it, the sponsor content went out to the general public recently.
Yeah.
And that was only on YouTube that you could go consume that.
Right. So we hope you enjoyed our Future of Music podcast. It was one of our favorites. And then the secret sponsor podcast that was paired with that was The Origins of Music, which our sponsors can still download. But it's available to the public through a video podcast on YouTube. So please go check that out.
Nice.
Okay, well we're towards the end here, Mike, but we got a little dessert for you today.
What?
We got a little tidbit. So From time to time, people write us in Fach Fictions.
Oh, did she write some more in?
Not this time,
what?
Man. So, do you remember back in the day we had old Duncan Holtz Hall made an opera playlist.
I remember.
Sex opera playlist. So him and Jesse Warren have written a Fach Fiction.
Oh, nice.
Under the theme of what has happened as a result of this playlist, I guess. Because we told y'all to go fuck Duncan, man. So
we did.
I guess some of you did. So Duncan
very happy.
Woodhall here.
Very happy for you, Woodhall.
So look, man, we're going to do some Fach Fiction. And so I have the normal theme here. I also did some background music here to help make it a bit more sexy. So what do you say, Mike? Let's take a journey.
Let's ride Duncan. You got nothing.
Dunkin' Donuts, Dunkin' his balls in my mouth.
Dunkin'
I got
balls
nothing.
in the mouth.
All right, here we go. Oh yeah. So today we got a very special Fach Fiction for all you people. This is the first Fach Fiction we read from the guys, from the gentlemen. So let's take the ride. By Jesse Warren with consultation and contributions from Duncan Holtz Hall. I can't open up my Instagram anymore because of the shit. It all started with the DMs, right after my playlist was mentioned on SDAO. Hey, wrote Patricia with 2 Y's and a winky face. I'm not usually one to receive such an outright flirty DM, so I proceeded with caution. I clicked on the account and, well, she didn't seem like a bot or a catfish. Her bio said that she was a singer working on her master's in voice at Louisiana State University. She posted about how much she loved Isabel Leonard, and she followed a Dmitry Vorsovsky fan page. Is that your opera crush, Isabel Leonard?
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh, okay.
Is he yours?
Yes. Everything seemed legit. Still, I was in new territory. I had never been the kind of man to just respond to a DM like this without looking stupid. This time was different, though. She was messaging me first.
Ooh, Dunky.
I feel like this music helps.
Duncan.
Okay, something to maybe propel this conversation forward. You know, I had a middle school orchestra teacher named Patricia, I wrote. That was stupid. Fuck, that was stupid.
Duncan, come on.
Duncan. Within seconds after sending my message, my phone buzzed again with her response. Haha, that's so random, LOL, she wrote. She said haha and LOL. That means she was laughing out loud. If you weren't laughing out loud, why would you add haha and LOL? This was already a huge confidence boost for me, but I never expected what would happen next. I got another message from her within seconds. Look, I'm just going to shoot my shot here. I heard your opera sex playlist on SDAO, and I heard you didn't have anybody to have sex with, she slid in. Shit, Duncan, think! What did your sex ed teacher say? Yes, and? I replied, with stumbling sensuality.
Solid.
My sex ed teacher was also my improv teacher. Stumbling sensuality. Got some alliterations going on here.
I like it.
Before I could read her reply, there was another buzz from my phone, this time from a different woman named Carlota Manuela. I hope these aren't real people. Hey, baby, I hear you got un bel dick. That's good. Fuck, that was corny. Is this what it feels like to get hit on by another singer? Yes.
That's exactly it.
Is this what it feels like to get hit on by another singer? Hey, girl, I see you follow sex, drugs, and opera. I'm guessing you heard my sex playlist, I asked. I listen to it every single night. I knew I just had to meet the creator, the person responsible for getting me so crazy all the time, she typed, lustily and with great passion. Holy shit, I guess it's time to shoot my shot with Carletta as well. But what do I say? I guess we'll have to do it to the flower duet.
Oh, his inner dialogue is actually it's good. He's writing it just like somebody would think it. Oh, is it time? Oh, yeah. Should I do it now?
That's true. It's true.
Also, clearly written by a man. These are the way they're portraying this women, is 100% men.
Yeah, you're just writing for dudes. Slowly, I was becoming smoother and smoother with my replies, although the fame was beginning to make me feel uncomfortable. I needed to take a break from all the craziness, so I went for a walk to clear my head. On the way out, I stopped by my mailbox to see if I had any mail. Inside my mailbox was an envelope that said, "From Julian to my sweet Duncan Giovanni." I opened the envelope with trembling hands and was greeted by pages upon endless pages of sweet, salty Don Giovanni-related smut. Leporello, Julian wrote, before going into detail about what he wanted to do to me and what he wanted done to him, and his fantasy involving a reenacting of the dinner scene from Don Giovanni. I want you to be my big stone commendatore and drag my dongrolongi down into your hellbed, Daddy. Dongrolongi's good. That's good.
Oh, man, these guys are poets.
And drag my dongrolongi down into your hellbed, Daddy, he wrote completely in IPA.
Oh.
That's good. That's good, man. It's like a fucking secret code.
Oh, man.
It went on for paragraphs and paragraphs. I threw it into a nearby storm drain in panic. Was this going to be my life? Constantly being bombarded with DMs and friend requests and spam calls? I could live with it. If that was all there was to it. But to receive such a delectably sinful essay from a total stranger, I knew right then my opera sex playlist was powerful. In fact, it was far too powerful. It was more power and responsibility than I thought I could handle. I walked for hours wanting to escape this sexual whirlpool I had created by making the most perfect opera sex playlist known to man. Until a young woman stopped me in my tracks. "Are you okay? You seem spooked," she asked, and her sweat-covered chest heaving after an arduous jog.
Hello, Duncan.
This
Hello.
Is like Guy Fach Fiction starts to sound like Playboy stories.
Absolutely.
Which are different than 50 Shades of Grey.
Her
You know what I mean?
glistening, sweaty titties.
Me and my stepsister are in town. You know, like this shit, right? All right.
What'd she say?
No, I made that up. That was
Okay.
You got excited, though, right?
I did. I'm like, here we go. Strap in, boys. Strap in.
Her sweat-covered chest heaving after an arduous jog. "Yeah, it's just been one of those days, you know," I retorted naively. "We all have those days. I don't mean to intrude, but what makes today one of those days?" she asked coyly. I couldn't help but chuckle. She had very kind eyes, those classic Hollywood eyes. The kind that one, I think you meant once, man. The kind that once you look into, you lose the ability to voluntarily look away. "It might take a while to explain," I said, pausing. "Maybe I could tell you about it. Do you have time for a drink?" Okay, last page, Mike. Buckle up.
I'm down.
We sat on the outside patio of the Bar Louis and ordered a bottle of wine, and we talked. We talked long into the evening and then deep into the night. We talked, and our talking turned to whispers, and our whispers turned to glances as we finished our bottle of Cabernet. Last call at the bar came around, but I had no desire to call it a night. "Do you want to come back to my place for a nightcap?" she said, almost whispered, while laying her hand on my leg and brushing her hair to the side.
Oh, man, it's on.
It's
on
like,
to the break of dawn.
Like Donkey Kong, man.
Like Donkey Dong.
Like Donkey Dong Grolongi. "I would love to cap this night with you with a nightcap," I replied, with almost enough charm and sexual suggestion to make the fawns blush.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, okay. "I would love to cap this night with you." Okay. She led me back to her cramped studio apartment, which was cluttered with plants, salt lamps, and candles.
Salt lamps?
Yeah, this is a modern fucking visual. This is exactly right. A tattered poster of Maria Callas was taped to the wall by her bed. She opened another bottle of wine and poured us both a glass. Our conversation never stopped, but with every new topic, she got a little closer to me. A flirtatious hit every so often.
That's nice.
Nice, right? She twirled her fingers in tiny circles around the carpet and watched me finish myself off. No, and watched me finish one of my stories. I had to do it. Oh, God. Okay, watch me finish one of my stories.
Silly fuck you.
Her eyes deep in thought. When I finished talking, she continued to look deeply into my eyes. Silence. Her gaze wavered, then down to my lips and back. Before I knew it, with magnetic force, our lips pressed together, and a gasp of released sexual tension fell through her nose.
Ooh.
The boy's writing some good imagery
No, but
here.
that's true. That's what happens with the first fucking kiss.
Yeah, that's hot, man.
It goes, you get one of those, like, beatboxing.
Yeah. One of those. Sweet smooches turned to passionate pawing. Some alliteration. And before I knew it, we were laying together naked on the cluttered studio apartment floor, gasping for air. "You want me to turn on some music?" she asked. "Yeah, I like everything. Put on whatever you want," I said. I can make this guy whoever I want to be.
You just made him blow in his pants.
I know.
Dude, come on.
I can make him whoever I want to be.
Give Duncan some credit.
All right, sorry.
He's not blowing yet. The guy's got some life in him.
He has blown. He's post-blown here.
Post Malone?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right, okay. I'll give him some more endurance here. Okay. Yeah, I like everything. Put on whatever you want, I said. I've got just the thing, she said, pulling up a Spotify playlist and connecting to her Bluetooth speaker. The unmistakable sound of Pavarotti singing Che gelida manina was borne into the steamy air, causing my blood to freeze in its tracks. Opera in bed? She knows. Noticing my reaction, she responded, yeah, some guy made this playlist on a podcast I listened to, and I saved it for a long time. No, I saved it for a time just like this. It's fire. I looked at her astounded. She knew of me, but she didn't know who I was. Given the hormonal hellscape I'd been forced to outrun recently, I decided I was more than content to abstain from taking credit for the playlist. She'd realize it someday, I am sure, but not tonight. For the rest of the night, as we rattled the salt lamp, as the plants were knocked over, and as the candles burned down to their flickering, ecstatic ends, only one thought stayed in my head, that old quote from the movie Field of Dreams, which now had become the truth for my humble opera sex playlist. If you build it, they will come.
Ah, man.
Some Fach Fiction from the boys for a change of
Who's
pace.
the other guy? What's the other guy's name?
This is Jesse Warren.
Jesse Warren.
Well, I think was the main writer of that.
And Duncan
Holtz Hall. I tell you, man. Yeah, guys writing the Fach Fiction. I like it, but it took a turn towards the Playboy. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean? Like because that's what every guy's dream is, that some girl jogging will just stop and go out for a drink with you. You know?
I think we should try our hand at writing one, but I'm afraid instead of as we shook the salt lamp, it would be as we violently smashed guts all night.
It would be straight up. It'd be whatever Beyond Playboy is, you know? As my ball slaps rang through the night like a church bell in a town that's just like, yeah, but if we wrote it, I would want to write you as the main character and you should write me. I think. That would be better.
That sounds interesting. I'll write what you mean. I'm going to write one independently of you about you, and you're going to write one.
Yeah. I think we should do that.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like you'd end up writing something kind of insulting about me.
Yeah, of course.
As Mike gave his unsatisfying 3 pubs right before the end.
Oh, man. Well, then we'd have to set some ground rules beforehand then.
Whatever. The truth hurts. The truth hurts.
Oh my God. Okay.
Mike drank another glass of whiskey to numb his dick.
I think we got to do it. Well, now we set some ground rules. We'll do one. We'll do one that like shines a good light, and then we'll maybe do a roast Fach Fiction.
I'll tell you what, boys. Let's hear it for the boys.
There were some good lines in there, man. My favorite one was probably the nose sexual tension through the nose, you know.
Well, that's because I think anybody who has had that build up and then the kiss recognizes that as absolute truth. It absolutely that's something that happens.
Yeah, and it's way more real than like moaning. Moaning is often artificial. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it comes later, but like if you kiss someone for the first time, you're not gonna be like.
I fucking hate when I hear if I'm having look. Well, now I'm monogamous, but back in the day, when you could tell that someone's putting on a show for you.
Oh man,
nothing worse.
Nah, man,
nothing worse.
I went.
It offends me sexually and artistically.
Yeah. At least have some character building, you know?
Right.
Like, we got to build to these emotions. You can't just snap it on, you know?
I feel the same way when I watch somebody on stage, though, and it's like, you're not involved. You're not invested in this character.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Get off the stage.
Giving someone acting notes.
Right.
Look, I appreciate it, but I just felt like you didn't have this like, development of the emotion. It just kind of, you were snapping between colors.
We'll call your agent.
You weren't finding the shades in between.
We'll call your agent.
Yeah, man. He had another line in there that was good. It was the talking turned to whispers and whispers turned to glances.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a good one. I like that one too. Dong Grolongi. That was not bad. Do it to the duet. Yeah, what happened? We had these opera pickup competition.
Yeah, didn't you guys submit?
Where were you?
Because those are some really good ones.
Yeah, man. Let's duet to the flower duet. Do you want to see my Dong Grolongi? All right, man. This is starting to go off the deep end here. So we're into May now, and Mike and I haven't really. We got to do some planning here because we had planned through the summer, and then
then we decided we're going to give you guys more and more and more content because of this Corona shit.
Yeah.
So we blew through a bunch of themes that we have. We have a couple on the burner, but we really we need to do what we need
little powwow. So we're not going to plug next week's, but you better fucking believe that we will be back and we will be talking to you in 1 week's time. So
absolutely.
Take care of yourself. Mask up.
See ya.
And fuck off.